Huge
of the
disparity.
meta, right? Like they play they play more pubs. I'm not sure, but like they just have a better understanding of the meta. It feels like, and when they are behind, they know what to do. When they're ahead, they know what to do, and their drafts make sense in terms of what they're thinking. So, yeah.
All right, well, you talked about drafts a lot. Let's see exactly the heroes we're going to get in the first game in this best of 5 grand finals with the bans. And we shall start things off with the Spirit Breaker, first banned by Team Spirit. They watched that secret 2-0 and they said, no, thank you. We do not want to play against that. And I do want to point out the Bane's made it through the banning phase here. The hero which has a 75% win rate and is the most picked hero in this tournament as well.
They let the IO go through. This is something that they like to ban. They pick up the Bane, like you said, instantly afterwards. They played some Bane SD in the past, Bane Weaver, maybe an offlane now as a pickup for them. Usually Collapse just gets banned out completely. Already 2 of his heroes are out.
Yeah, may want to consider Timbersaw. And they go for the Razor. Okay. This is very meta pick again.
Yeah, pretty solid lane, right? You have that sleep into the static link.
I guess the thing is, if you're gonna give away the Bane, Wisp might be one of the nicer heroes to get, because I don't think Bane is. I mean, Bane's good against pretty much everything in the game, right? But at least Wisp has like, it's maybe not the best against Wisp in particular. So I think this makes sense in a way.
Why is it not that good against Wisp in particular?
Well, you're single target heavy, right? And you can try to disable the guy who's tethered, but you know the Wisp can just either relocate or keep him buffed up. It is
okay.
Yeah. Oh, look at that!
There it is. You called for it last series, and we're gonna see it in the first phase in the first match here.
It's also really good against these two heroes, right? You just see a wolf and all his summons running at these two heroes, they just kind of die.
Papa? Isn't it magical, Papa?
I love that voice line. I love that. Isn't it magical, Papa? I tilted someone really badly with it last night, and now I keep using it all the time.
Is that a voice line from the new Aghanim's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the Battle Pass. One of the ones from the Battle Pass.
Right.
Isn't it magical, Papa?
Like Lycan with all his summons is difficult to deal with for Razor, for Bane, right? He's very fast as well.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, would I value Lycan more than a Beastmaster that can also roar the Razor and stop him from, just being that nuisance in fights?
I see what you mean, because I could, yeah, I know what you mean, but like maybe the Lycan is a bit more unexplored in terms of what do you do to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Beastmaster, I think most teams will have a good understanding of how to shut this guy down. Whereas the Lycan is a bit more
exotic.
Yeah, he is a bit more exotic, and he has maybe if he doesn't get if Beastmaster gets shut down and his timings are dealt with, you could say the hero does become significantly weaker. Whereas Lycan maybe is a bit, I don't know. Maybe you need to deal with it differently.
When we are thinking about these counters to Lycan, what comes to your mind? Like something like a Bloodseeker, some Slens, these kind of heroes are usually pretty strong versus him.
I mean, it's like, I think some offlaners as well, like Underlord can be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix is also really good. Mars is really good. Tidehunter, perhaps. The thing is, Lycan is kind of different nowadays, that you can play him like before, like your hero now does not necessarily have to do that much, right? You can just put all your summons on the Bane, and then the Bane is out of the picture. You have all the vision from the wolves. You have the shard with the split pushing wolves, and then the Aghanims build later. So you have a lot of tools that makes the hero perhaps more flexible than he used to be. Back in the day, you just picked Underlord and grouped up, and the Lycan felt like he couldn't do anything. Whereas now, like I just mentioned, he has a lot of different things in his kit.
Yeah, I like the Tidehunter call that you made. There are some position fours that are pretty strong with him as well. If you get that Weaver for the minus armor, strong versus IO as well. Deny it away from Tundra. But one interesting thing is that Mira's Monkey King is still in the pool. Like, that hero has been not banned by Tundra Esports. Most of the time, if the monkey goes through, they just first phase it. They go Bane Monkey usually, but yeah, they opted to go for the Razor instead.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of 4 you're looking at. Monkey King could be pretty good here for sure. Into Lycan as well, I think. makes sense. You can't really run into the ring, even if it's Sport Monkey King. You have the AoE stun.
It's pretty neat. You can itemize some ways, right? Like how Kuroki itemized on that position 5 Monkey King with Gleipnir. It's an option. Eels is also just fine. Getting some extra disables.
The Eels look so good.
I think something like Winter Wyvern is really good as well for Spirit right now. It's kind of.
I feel like Wyvern is good, but at the same time versus Lycan it feels bad. It's same like Bane for me. Maybe a little bit better.
Yeah.
But he's still going to send all these summons at you, and you're gonna struggle until you have some ability item, right?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. So Treant is also pretty good right now because similarly to the Centaur that we talked about before, Lycan kind of needs to take those early towers, at least the enemy safe in tower, pretty fast, I would say. If he can't do that, then it just seems a lot worse. And Treant is pretty good against it in lane, just because he punches so hard, but also, if you can defend the tower, like post 10 minutes, suddenly Lycan can't really play the game that he wants to. So I think it's a similar reason. And of course, the ultimate later on, right, is great against Lycan.
Mm-hmm. They have these two complete bullies in position 4 and 5, I suppose. What do you think? Like, I won't dare guess if Bane will be 4 or 3, and it's like pretty much the same in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a mirror Treant, right? I guess they do. They do both, right? Like you said. But
Poshka is just a god Bane, so.
One thing that these voices are actually going
a little bit
I'm watching it in the game, and I'm like actually getting. But if you look at the supports from Team Spirit and compare them to, for example, the last series we watched, where Team Secret picked Nyx Assassin, Shadow Demon, right? Just compare the strengths of these two supports Team Spirit has compared to Secret. It's a huge difference. It's much harder for Tundra to pick heroes now because they are staring down these insanely strong lane supports.
They're bullies.
Yes.
They're true bullies in the laning stage. Tundra, they go with Alina, so you get this hero that can pretty much lane versus anything on that mid lane, right? And we haven't really seen her. She was all the rage in the first couple of days. Like in the first phase, she was even picked, but
10 seconds remaining.
Well, now there's no Nyx Assassin, so you can actually pick up this Lina, right? But at the same time,
for it,
5 seconds
definitely
remaining.
helps.
Yeah.
And I think one thing this Razor carry can have issues with are heroes which can outrange him and heroes which are faster than him. And I'm pretty sure Lina ticks both of those boxes, right?
Yeah. Like in the laning stage and afterwards, like you get that Laguna Blade as well to nuke him down. But interesting from Tundra to go for a Winter Wyvern.
5 seconds remaining.
Like,
do you think we're ever gonna see the 9 Winter Wyvern again?
Radiant team back.
I mean,
that was a blast.
Like, if you think about it, with the range and whatnot, it could be decent versus Razor, right? Like, it shouldn't be that bad.
Some Winter
Team
Wyvern
Spirit Night Stalker
with Lycan Aghanims on him, just later on, running around, flying around, hasted.
10 seconds
could be fun.
remaining.
Tethered up,
overcharged Wolf Wyvern flying across the sky. Like, step aside, Night Stalker. No one is afraid of you.
I kind of want to see that.
Now. I mean, it would put you melee range, right? But then you get the bonus range from the Arctic Burn anyway, so you get a little bit of range, and then you don't have projectiles as well. It gets very weird when you add bonus range onto the Lycan Wolf. It gets very, very odd. Will they be looking to pick up a carry on Tundra who can synergize with Lycan Axe, though? Will that be a consideration?
I mean, yeah, unless they're doing some crazy Winter Wyvern mid, then I think
I feel the same.
They definitely need that Skeeter hero, right?
I feel the same like you do, Misery. This could be some crazy Wyvern mid, some 4 Lina, and they get this. I don't know. Like, can you actually go for a melee offlaner that goes into a Razor there? That can be dangerous too.
It's definitely a 33 Lycan, right?
Oh yeah, actually you're right. That's true.
You need a Skeeter hero last. So Ursa got removed to protect your Night Stalker. Luna as well.
Is Wraith King bad against Razor, or can it be picked?
No, I think the Wraith King is not bad.
Got to be looking at it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
10 seconds remaining.
considering how much they love it, and considering the fact that it's decent versus
5
Night Stalker,
seconds
right? Like, you
remaining.
don't truly care about him that much, and you have some additional frontline. Sounds
Is
like a
there-
solid idea.
Is there not that aspect of like it's too obvious though? You're playing against Team Spirit. They've let it through for a reason. Do Tundra really want to take that bait? Is it just too juicy a worm, and the hook itself is actually quite sharp?
I mean, it's hard to predict Tundra's last pick here, considering how sneaky they've been recently, right?
Yeah, true. It's probably IO Pos 1
Bloodseeker.
and then Lycan Pos 5 or something. But they do go for the Bloodseeker in the end, so they refuse to go for their kind of most predictable play. Instead, they'll take the Bloodseeker. But this is something they've been having a lot of success with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you just imagine the Night Stalker or Razor getting ruptured. Like, they don't like that.
Yeah.
So I like the pick. It's also a nice
5
combo with
seconds
Wyvern, the
remaining.
curse setup to Bloodrite. Looks good.
Honestly, the two heroes that I actually expected maybe Team Spirit to pick up after seeing Lycan, Tundra gets.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Wyvern maybe versus Lycan Bloodseeker as well versus him. But like you said, Rupture works just as well versus Razor and Night Stalker.
Do you guys think it's a Razor carry or a Razor mid? Have we seen Team Spirit play Razor recently?
They played it on carry, I believe. Not
Okay.
on mid. And do you really want to mid that into Alina?
Nah,
Wouldn't you
probably
rather
don't.
side lane it?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. For sure. You're gonna put Razor versus the Lycan, right?
That doesn't sound like a great lane for 33.
Maybe
Like,
Tinker.
Right. Go with the
Now select
Morphling
heroes.
So it
versus
is,
Alina as well.
so it is mid Razor.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't sound super convinced by the Morphling pick up here. What's the reasoning behind that, Lizard?
Well, there are some things. There's some percent base damage, right, coming from Tundra Esports. There's also some extra burst coming from the Atlina, which is pretty solid. Overall, I guess he is your end-all, be-all hard carry that wins the game eventually, but
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why they picked it, right? The only thing Morphling has to be scared of this game is the Lina Shadowblade at some point, I would say. Because, like, they don't really have any disables. He's also going to play into Lycan, this should be a really nice lane for Morphling. Lycan, though, is going to have a nice lane there as well, I think. At least to some extent. But they basically chose to go for the hard carry instead of trying to, pick a different mid. So the Razor might suffer a little bit more, but like we have talked about in the past as well, you can play Razor on just the Q instead and just farm jungle, play the farming game. So
yeah, one thing that this Razor will not have is a stable link, right? Like, you cannot static link a single target and leash out a lot of damage later on in teamfight, because you're playing versus this Lycan, you're playing versus a Bloodseeker. They'll be running around constantly unless Treant is really on point with his disables together with Bane. Not sure about this one, really. Both of the drafts look extremely funky to me. I'll go with Team Spirit just a little bit because of these two bullies on the supports.
I also feel like
quickly a prediction.
Yeah, I also think Team Spirit's draft is maybe a bit stronger in terms of their supports and just overall strength of their heroes. So I would also bank on them.
I'm worried about the lack of stuns, but I think I can go for Tundra here. I like what they've put down. Bloodseeker, it's proven really strong in their hands, and it's a great Bloodseeker game. So I reckon Skitter's going to have another outstanding game. Will Team Tundra be able to do it and take down the current TI champs, or will it be Team Spirit taking game number 1? Let's find out with a commentary duo of B Cup and Black.
Thank you very much, Nomad. Coming in first game of the grand final between Tundra and Team Spirit. Looked like these teams were about to skirmish over mid. Toronto, Tokyo postured across the river. Black, it's got to be an exciting grand final. Are you hyped for this one?
Yes, until I started a draft. I feel like it's a little bit one-sided in this one, at least. But the next games are going to be much better, I promise, guys. I mean, even this game, is by no means over. It's a DOTA game. Anything can happen. And I just feel like... I do know how I feel like about no-stun drafts.
Right.
Yeah, it's rough. They have one Lina stun and a Wyvern's curse. That's it. That's it.
That's just it. You need more.
Yeah.
Give me more.
Give me more. But at least they're eating the cheese. That can be very, very important in winning this grand final.
It's the most important thing to winning this grand final is eating the cheese.
The cheese is of utmost importance, as some might say. They try to zone the Night Stalker out down here. He has 0 regen. Very greedy, but... Yeah, so this Morphling, last pick, obviously I predicted it because I predict all the heroes all the time.
This is true.
It is. Thank you for telling everybody the truth. If it gets like 2 or 3 items, I actually don't know how they really deal with him. He gets like a Manta, Lincoln's E-Blade or something. It's gonna be very scary for the Radiant team.
Right.
Mid lane should be a little difficult for the Razor, but it's a Razor. He should be okay with just spamming Plasma Field. And I like that they picked the Night Stalker into the Lycan. Usually, people say Lycan counters Night Stalker, but with that shard, when at 20 during the nighttime, you can actually just eat the Ancient Creep. 3 to 50 gold, and you make Lycan pretty much useless.
So you're hoping Collapse at that 20-minute mark gets himself into a shard?
Straight away.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's such a hard counter because you just completely ruin Lycan's game plan. Like, suddenly this Bane doesn't have to be afraid of a Lycan anymore. You just sleep the main hero, and 2 wolves alone can't kill you.
Right. Because that's one of the things that can sometimes be difficult for a Bane when you could get jumped on like that, where you can never really feel comfortable in a fight.
Yeah, for sure. Which is really what Tundra has to do. Like, this Lycan will have to kill both supports while Bloodseeker is focusing down the Razor. Like, it's a lot more complicated to play for the Tundra side, I'd say. Which is why I think Spirit is ultimately going to end up winning this game, because they're very good. And if they have an easier to execute lineup, high chance they're going to win.
Certainly have to see Collapse. He's going to get silenced. Nightmare is there from Maposhka. It'll keep Collapse safe for now. Skitter, who is had a last 4 games be 1 death kind of style.
He might be in trouble here. 2 more auto attacks? No, I can't get it. Needs a healing self, though.
Yeah, I'll be given that, and Skitter will continue to control the lane a little bit.
Yeah, this lane is really hard for Night Stalker, unfortunately. Like, Bloodseeker is such a strong laner. Lags. Why the lagging, B-Cop?
You know, gotta get that better internet.
True.
Do we have a Wi-Fi sponsor?
No, but I could hook one up real quick.
I was gonna, give a nice shout. I'm very good at the ad runs. You want me to make an ad? I could do it.
You can shout it to me.
Yeah, I could. This game is brought to you by Black Dota 2. Giving you all your anti-mage needs.
Mm-hmm.
Watch his stream.
Thank you for the subtle advertisement. I'm going to check. Oh, yeah. Instantly got plus 500 followers. Insane.
I do so well.
You do so well, Big Up. Good job.
Yeah.
I am impressed.
I'm good with my off-the-cuff ad reads, so if you guys need someone, I could do those off-the-cuff ad reads. As for the game, let's get back to the game. That's saying coming back into it. Yeah. How do you think it's going for both sides? Anything that really sticks out at you at the moment?
No. All lanes are going as expected, I'd say. The lanes are going to get a little bit rough now for the Night Stalker, though. And Razor is actually currently at least somewhat winning mid lane. Which, honestly, like, this new Razor is so hard to predict how he's going to do in lane. Like, the traditional counters don't really counter him anymore, like this Quap and Lina, because his Plasma Field got this really big buff, which just deals more damage. It's so much easier to last at the range group now with that, like so. And yeah, he's doing very well for himself.
And not only gets that range creep there, but also does a good chunk of damage on the Lina too, right on the edge of that.
Yeah, and he's going to be a very vital part in that mid game to shut down the Bloodseeker.
Bottom lane just seems to skirmish back and forth, or at least not back and forth, more so just aimed at Team Spirit, and Collapse taking a lot of damage. He's soaked a lot up for the most part in this game. Yatro Getting chased for the moment. Snake King of 33 trying to get a kill here. The Nature's Grass. Snake King's actually getting low, and we've got a
let's
pause.
do the math. 40 base damage, 0.5 agi. Multiplier minimum. He is not dead.
Not dead? Are you sure?
Not
chat?
Dead. Yes.
1 in the chat if you think he's going to die here. 2 in the chat if you think he survives.
I'm going to say he's going to live with 40 HP.
40? Okay.
Ish.
40
You can give me like plus 10, minus 10, right?
That's a big range when he's already got 95.
Okay, I say 5 then. Okay, give me a 5 range.
All right.
Minus 5, plus 5.
So 35 to 45.
Yeah.
All right, I can give you that.
Okay.
Don't move from the IO.
I will eat the cheese.
We'll have to see what the answer ends up being. Couple of pauses early.
Stop DDoS, yeah.
Stop
Isn't
DDoSing.
it magical, Papa? Isn't it magical, Papa?
Those are never the words you want to hear when you get your first pause of a 5-game series.
Accusing the enemy of DDoS? Yeah, no. I'm sure they don't like that.
They need to get some more mantles of intelligence, that's for sure. You know?
I will eat the cheese.
And some more cheese.
I will eat the cheese.
Couple of tips coming out. That's not going to stop the internet problems, though.
No.
Trading of shards, 50 each.
Hey, B-Cop.
Value? Yeah.
What kind of shoes does a ninja wear?
Oh, I think you've told this one before. During the DPC as well. I love that there's just saying G the entire time, by the way. Tundra keeps saying that they're ready. What kind of shoes does a ninja wear? I have no idea.
Sneakers.
I will eat the cheese.
All right.
That
Fair
was
enough.
funny. That was funny. That was so funny, actually.
We'll see how chat reacts in about 5-minute delay.
Can we just target
The best jokes are the ones where you can laugh about them yourself.
Can we just target
Obviously.
one person, please?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a joke back. But my go-to is always just like, you know, never loved, only cringed.
You see, my IQ isn't even high enough to understand that. Like, I go for more like Twitch appeal. I go like 40k people watching, but no XD in chat.
If I see one more XD.
I will eat the cheese.
If I see one more XD, I will eat the cheese.
Isn't it magical, Papa?
All right, I got you. Here's my go-to joke. I got it. If we're still paused here.
He said no. Collapse said no.
Oh, okay.
I will
Never
eat
mind.
the cheese.
Yeah.
We're just gonna
Sorry.
continue to eat the cheese.
Yeah. What's the cooldown on the global chat lines? 1 minute?
I think it's 1 minute.
Because Fata can be very accurate with that. Yeah,
Just
every minute.
Eating the cheese. You think he's spamming it continually while
I
he's
feel
not
like
doing
Fata
anything?
is like a what's the word? A connoisseur. You know, like he presses it once every minute exact.
He
He's a
knows the
gentleman.
cooldown. Snake King? I couldn't tell. He popped the salve. I wasn't sure if he got under 30. After
Hey.
all that time, I couldn't tell.
Did you click on him?
I was clicked on him.
How did you not see the health then?
It happened so quickly.
Oh my god, then I'm definitely right.
Producers are telling us that Black was right.
Yeah. Thank you.
There we go.
Did they actually say that?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, cool.
So we're back into the game. Moving once more. Hopefully Spirit's internet troubles are no longer. We'll get into this one. Hopefully it evens out, because you don't want internet issues hurting you in a game, especially a grand final.
Yeah.
Better to get them out of the way early, though. Don't want someone disconnecting in a big fight. That could be very consequential. But right now, Tundra, they've got a 1k net worth lead. They're doing a good job overall. But Poshka getting body blocked by Fata, trying to save Skitter down towards bottom.
Oh. It's not even nighttime. Now it's nighttime. No mana though on the Night Stalker, so no real potential for pressure here. As soon as he gets mana though, this bot lane should become a whole lot harder for them. I mean, Poshka's actually going real aggro. Be careful
He's
here.
very far forward.
He might be dead.
Yeah, he is in a lot of trouble with the blood right down. The right clicks in, the silence there, and the first blood in the hands of Skitter. He'll continue his streak of not dying and getting kills.
Rare mistake. Like, Posh kind of just walked in. Like, he maybe thought they didn't have a healing salve, and the Bloodseeker is really low, like sneaking a kill or so, but it completely backfired. And now Bloodseeker is very rich. Very rich indeed.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, that is a very over-aggressive play, that's for sure, to make. Not thinking that they have a salve. Bada will sacrifice himself to the tower.
Already up to a 1k lead though. Very good because
They might get Skitter. Oh, one more right click,
streak
and they
broken.
finally bring down Skitter for what feels like the first time in a long time.
Do you think Skeeter was pressured by that? Like all the people are like, oh, he didn't die for so long, good job. He's
No,
like, I don't want to
no.
die, I don't want to die. And now that he died, he's back to God mode.
I'm not even sure you think about that much.
I can confirm you don't. You just never die.
Yeah, makes it easier to know you're never gonna die.
Oh, Razor Haste, rotation bottom. Oh, he's dead again on Skeeter.
Yeah, and he just TP'd back. This is gonna really kill his lane if he ends up dying again. His TP on cooldown for 60 more seconds, but they've got the cold embrace
Plasma
coming in from Bada. Plasma Field on the edge as well as the Brain Sap. They'll get the kill on a Skitter. Now they'll look over at the rest. They've got the sweep out on a Snake King. Fada getting run down here by Toronto Tokyo. So 2 heroes dead on the side of Tundra. They TP in another. 9 comes in and will at least it collapse. So it's a 2-for-1 trade that doesn't go over the top and fully downhill. But it
was an
does
insane
put Skitter in a
rotation,
bad
man.
spot.
Yep, Haste Rune Razor is a nightmare, especially if your TP is on cooldown, which obviously it was, as he just TP'd into the lane. But yeah, it's gonna set Skeeter back quite a bit. He's now rotating back to the mid lane. And you really want to get up to this fast Maelstrom timing on Bloodseeker, because that's your acceleration item. If you don't get that quickly, like every minute you delay it, it's just that much more costly.
I want to say Skitter doesn't exactly feel safe coming over mid to farm. He's out-leveled by quite a bit here by the Razor. Mira going to go for the TP as the Blood Right comes in. The Splinter Blast damage as well, so he'll just TP away, and I would assume that they understand that he probably put a ward down there. 2-man stun, 9. Not a lot of mana to work with. Static Link,
been
Snake
drained.
King's here looking for the body block. And they've got the sweep onto this IO, so they're going to continue to chase 9, who's
Doesn't
all
fit
by
up.
himself on the run. Plasma Field on the edge. It lands,
Oh,
avoids the
one more hit.
LSA. Toronto
One more hit.
Tokyo just needs one more strike to get this kill. Ooh, still not enough. Survives with 15 health, but has the Plasma Field to finally finish off this Lina.
Alright, this Razor, middle, you know. Some people were perhaps doubtful, but he's putting on the moves. Like, he killed the Bloodseeker, and he killed the Lina. He's making so much happen on the map. With a hero that's historically not as active. That one Haste Rune, of course, helping out a lot. Bottom lane abandoned, tower almost down. And Morphling, top of the net worth.
There's a big issue here for Tundra at the moment. They're up in net worth, but you've got Morphling, who's really free farming away, having these stacks over in the jungle. And then on top of that, you've got Toronto Tokyo, who is zooming pretty quick from Toronto back to Tokyo and back again.
Yeah.
Getting these kills all over the map.
It's classic move. That's how you want TI. Also, I'm really hoping that the Morphling is not gonna go for Manta after the Lincolns, just because it's way too defensive. Same reason why Medusa, Manta Lincolns is just so, like, I'm just gonna call it bad because I think it is. You just have no damage, no offensive capabilities at all. So what does he have queued up? E-Blade. I love that. Like, you got one defensive item, but then it's time to deal damage.
Right.
E-Blade, perfect item for that.
Money to burn.
How long is it going to be until he's ready with that? So he's going into the early Lincolns, and you know, E-Blade isn't exactly a cheap purchase. is there a timer on when he's going to be ready? And before you answer that, Toronto Tokyo going after Skitter, trying to get this kill, and he'll be on a killing spree. Snake King now getting run down, but he had to relocate as he is a higher level than his own Bloodseeker. He will go right back over. He brings Nine with him. He took
brought the Lina. What?
Why did he bring the Lina?
He killed the Lina. Oh no, I know what he wanted to do. He wanted to instantly tether as he relocates back, but he tethered just a millisecond too early, so he brought him with him.
Oh, a bit of a misplay there, and well, it costs 2 more lives.
Yeah, that is actually such a big kill. Like, Lina was not the richest, but still pretty rich, and just getting a kill for free like that is... It's very, very big. All 3 cores of the Dire completely recovered, and very farmed now suddenly.
They've got Miposhka ready here with the Fiend's Grip if they want to make a move with that. Meanwhile, mid, getting chased again. It's just so easy for Toronto Tokyo to lay down the plasma field, slow them up, and really kind of stymie this chase. And remember, Miposhka is level 6. They are far forward. They've glyphed the tower. Plasma field out, and Skitter now making the rotation. Yataro's here. Fiend's Grip coming through on a 33. They've got the Blood Right. That'll stop the Fiend's Grip eventually with the LSA hitting on Yataro. They'll bring over Mira. He's not level 6 yet, so he doesn't have the ulti.
No stun, no stun.
And there's the Rupture, and, well, just TP out.
Yeah.
And Winter's Curse.
Well, I can always just say, man, you have no stuns. It's so hard to play Dota. This should have been a dead Razor right there.
At the end of the day, they don't even get much. They get the tier 1 tower, which opens up the map a little bit, but certainly if you have one more stun there, you probably lock down Toronto Tokyo at least.
Yeah, and he's actually going for the greedy Razor route, okay, which is the Maelstrom into BKB, rather than just straight BKB. Together with the Morphing in the team, like, he must be feeling really comfortable with his current position in the game, which you can't blame him for. What is he, 3-0-3? Very farmed.
Yeah, looking really good at the moment.
I'm gonna give you some basic Dota, okay? Like, if you're really fast with the acceleration item, as like a Maelstrom, you can get away with it. You should always build it, because you're just gonna get to the item that much faster, right? So he obviously thinks that he's not gonna be having a rough game anytime soon. Which
this,
I hope for him it's gonna be the right call.
Does this mean on any hero?
Core heroes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want you to build a Midas on the CM.
It would have been Ancient Apparition, but sure. I won't do it.
I got the ice right, so... You know?
Halfway there.
It's because we spoke about ice cubes.
True, and crunching on them. Dire Heroes, by the way, all 3 of them leading the net worth. You've got the IO, who's got a decent amount of farm at the moment. Looking for that Holy Locket. So, you know, not too bad in terms of where the gold's at for Tundra. It's felt a bit iffy in the team play.
I will eat the cheese.
They're trying to make a move over top, though.
That's very hard to kill a Morphing, though. Yeah, I get in the tree and he should be dead. Bye-bye. Or?
He's healing himself. Wow. And Rupture.
It's a lot of spells. They use one of them, but they use both.
Seems like a bit of a lack of communication on that.
Yeah, they have Dark Ascension, and they're giving up the tower.
They've glyphed it, they've TP'd out. Miposhka, though, getting spotted by the spirits, and now Blood Right's down. They've used the ult on 33. Miposhka's run down. They're going to get the tier 1 tower, which we've talked about this time and time again with the Tree Protector. When you're able to slow the games down, slow these towers from being taken, it's a big positive. It did take them 14 minutes to get the mid-tier 1 and the top tier 1. But still, as a Treant, you're always looking to extend that timer as long as you can, open up as much space as you can.
Yeah, it was still a fairly long time, as we have another pause, this time from Tundra. But yeah, like 14 minutes is pretty late for the safe lane tower. But the mid tower of Tundra is still standing. They gotta get that down next nighttime. Latest. Gotta secure that space for the Morphling.
What's Fonda doing? Not too high on the net worth. He's level 7, though.
Radiant are
Yeah.
scanning.
He's been eating a lot of cheese.
Not so fast.
Night Stalker pressuring the Bloodseeker on daytime always is a bit weird.
He's got the Echo Saber ready on Collapse, and he's going into the BKB, then the Blink, and presumably the Lincolns.
It's a good
if he
ward.
Continues to do so.
Yeah, Bane's gonna feed here.
And when Poshka plays down a ward, he's got Collapse over to the side, but 4 heroes coming through. Oh, Poshka, decent job buying some time, but can't survive.
You let my
He might be able to kill the Winter, but he's so tanky and he has a ward as well. They're not aware of this ward at all. They should be after this play from Tundra,
I
but
will eat the cheese.
we'll see.
9 and snaking after the relocate came back towards top. We're looking to get potentially a kill here onto Mira. They've got Toronto, Tokyo nearby. 9 shows himself. And Nature's Grasp won't slow him enough to let this Razor go and jump.
Yeah, 300 is also pretty survivable. 1400 HP. All these guys have so much HP.
That's strength gain.
Yeah.
And he's also got himself a fluffy hat, an extra 125.
And he's just occupying the top lane like forever. Which is really important, because we all know a creep wave represents what, B-Cup?
Money. Gold.
Vision. But sure, gold and money and experience too.
Represents a couple things.
Yeah. I was fishing for the most advanced one. Or that could be a good overgrowth up here. Setting up for it. Can he get it? No. Nope.
Dire's top tower
9.
is under attack.
Ooh, Rupture. That'll get used. Collapse now. Force the TP out. The damage, though. Oh, gosh.
Well, you really
Close.
need that shot. 4 minutes to go. He doesn't have it queued up yet.
Yeah, that's the only question now is if he's even going to go for it.
He might go just BKB into Shard, but
I will eat the cheese.
like if you pick Night Stalker into Lycan, like that has to be the idea, right? Because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. We'll just pick any other offlaner.
Would assume so, but we'll see.
Dire are scanning.
I've got the scan that's going to be on Skitter.
They see him, but he sniffs it out, or does he? He doesn't.
And he went to the other side. He didn't actually see the scan coming and couldn't sense it coming either. So Collapse will get credit for that kill. 9 and Snake King, they're over by the tower. Spirit won't jump for any more. They'll just take away the ancient
Has been
creeps that are over
He
here.
cancels.
And Toronto, Tokyo.
That's cancel, yeah.
And a Brigand's Blade.
Morphling though is getting scarily big. Like they don't have great answers. Once that E-Blade is up, look at Bloodseeker's health pool. He is literally going to die 100 to 0 from that shotgun alone.
He hasn't been touched, and he hasn't really gotten involved at all. He's 0-0 and 0, 200 last hits. He's been focusing on the farm, and that's exactly what they need him to do. That's what they're opening the space up for.
Yeah, I really like the decision to not really join fights, because we spoke about it. You build the Lincolns not really to fight, but to farm. It's like your farming item, your survivability item, and then you build to damage afterwards, and then you join the fights. You kill a hero too, you go for Roshan, that's your snowball play.
money to burn.
So 3K lead right now for Team Spirit.
Where's the shot?
And not queued up. Picking up the neutral of the Brigand's Blade, though. So that extra damage and attack speed.
Is it Brigand? I thought it was a Brigand.
I don't know. I feel like Brigand...
You're sounding like a French person now.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Le Blade of Brigand.
I'll take it.
Oui.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
BKB finished up on Razor already. Like they're just also rich. Like they all built these acceleration items and they're just getting away with it.
Now he's got the
Eagle
shark queued
Song.
up.
He has it.
Yeah.
Queued up. Nice. That's my boy. Not actually my boy, but you know.
In a row.
I'm sure we could be good
Tundra.
friends.
Yeah. Very friendly.
Yeah, they need to do this before they get all the items online on what they already. Oh,
Dark Ascension.
Scary
Nature's
one.
Grasp
Yes,
inside the
BKB.
pit with the BKB. Gonna
Who's
try and
faster,
go
who's
for
faster?
this. Collapse. And the Aegis is picked up by Skitter. They do get the kill, though, for the Dire.
Radiant structures structures are
It's
fortified.
something for Team Spirit, but
Radiant's
they probably
bottom
would have liked the
tower is under
Aegis.
attack.
Yeah, look at the map though. Bottom tower 500 HP. Mid tower took quite a beating as well. And that is not the timing anyway for Spirit, right? They're waiting for that E-Blade. That could be a grip. Yeah,
Yeah,
free kill
Fiend's
for
grip
Morph.
on Afada. Naturo's gonna get the assist.
Not the kill.
Mapochka gets it. All
Yeah,
is planned.
250 agi, not enough.
Radiant's middle tower is under
This
attack.
E-Blade timing is gonna be scary. Like now all they're gonna do is wait for that nighttime, gonna pull the trigger, and sure your Bloodseeker has an Aegis, but look at his health pool really. Like 1540? No way.
Not looking too survivable.
And very close also to that shot that we spoke about. Then the pesky Lycan creep is also just gonna be gone. You could potentially try to curse him, but no way he's gonna let it happen. Ah, he's too fast.
Go for the curse, and then the relocate, looking for everything, but the waveform is there. They've got the Nightmare out onto the IO. Bloodright's not going to land.
No stun for
Fada
5.
trying to help out and bring something over, but there's the E-Blade.
Dire's
Out onto
top
Fada. They look over at Mapochka. He's TP is not successful. Fada will get credit for that kill. Snake King, though, he ends up dead over in the Dire jungle.
Dire are scanning.
Has to be careful he doesn't feed away the ancient creep, and it might just...
Radiant's middle
Yeah, so much
tower
damage from
is
Razor
under
coming in.
attack.
Nature's Grasp, perhaps? It's a big kill if they can get it.
Gold
250.
goes to Toronto, Tokyo. Yeah, big gold for him, and he's going Gleipnir.
Yeah, it's a very good item. Like, they don't have the most amount of lockdown, so one Gleipnir is so good, especially against Lycan creeps. But you don't generally build to BKB on Lycan until very late. So everything is just hard stuck. Okay, so what do we have now? Shard online, E-Blade online, 2 BKBs online. I think it's go time.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They've got the items to go here for the side of Team Spirit, up about 5,000. Fighting into the Aegis, though. They might take their time. There's 2.5 minutes still left on the Aegis. Do they wait for the timing, or do they feel strong enough to just go and fight right through it?
There's a slight window right now, which they probably don't know. That Bloodseeker doesn't have a BKB for a while, but yeah, you might also just not want to risk it and just wait until the Aegis is gone. You still have that Fiend script against the BKB at least, right?
Arctic Burn.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, gosh. He's now up
He's
on
stuck
the
there, though.
cliff, and
Or
he
not.
morphs into the IO. So, wise move to tether onto the low ground, get to the Bane, and on the other side of the fight, they've got Collapse as well as Toronto Tokyo going after 33, who will use that ult, but he ends up being silenced. Plasma Field, LSA doesn't land. They've used the Rupture on a Collapse, but they've got the damage.
They found the timing.
Skitter. Waveform out of the back lines, forcing 33 as well as 9 to really find the right positioning. They look for the overgrowth, but that's not it. They got it on the
Grip
Seeker, but he ends up getting tethered and relocated out. They look over at Mapochka, they get the kill on the Bane, they'll lose themselves. Fada, Bloodright not landing. Yatoro hit by the stun. The rest of the team needs to be careful about moving in, and there's the Laguna Blade that goes right into the Lincolns.
Yeah. Well, at least they remember the timing we spoke about of no BKB. They caught just that. 300 away from it. Fight started just before you could get it. And sure, you do lose your Wyvern to a, your Bane to a good curse, but you kill the Wyvern twice.
So
Also,
brings them.
you start a Lycan, right? His creep instantly eaten. What did he do after? He had to run away.
Yeah. Runs with that ult, and there's nothing he can do with it.
How do you even play against this? I don't quite know myself, to be honest. Like, Nightstalker does such a hard counter to Lycan, because 70% of his damage doing ult really comes from the ancient creep, and it would just be eaten every fight. And if you don't eat it, that means it's not in the fight.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, Morph still farming up. Not really being stopped at all.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Money to burn.
He's going into the Scotty next. He's got himself enough for the point booster, so that leaves him about 2,000 gold away from the Scotty in
Radiant's
full.
bottom tower is under attack.
But he's going to take the 2-2 tower bottom,
Radiant's bottom tower
and it's
has
going to get
fallen.
even closer. This is a really
I will
big
eat the cheese.
problem here for Tundra, who just really haven't found answers throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah, slowly but steadily. Like, that's the Spirit we know, right? They get like a small lead, keep building on it, keep building on it. And now they're up to 8k already. Almost got it down on Morph. Magic. Because I heard magical, sorry. Nighttime in 5 seconds. I mean, it is quite magical, isn't it? This Team Spirit.
Yeah, their run's been super impressive, and so is Tundra's. Tundra's come through the entire lower bracket.
Found through 3.
They'll go after 33, and they've got the Fiend's Grip, Maposhka. Just ready with this one. He's taking a lot of damage here, but it's not going to matter once Collapse comes over and eats that creep. Easy 250.
It's so silly. Yeah, did you use it how many times? 4, 5, 6 times? And the money's back in already for a shot.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tokyo getting a kill on a Snake King.
Oh, Delina's almost at
9. Ooh, Invis with the Shadow Blade does get out.
Invisibility is... Invincibility.
Overpowered.
Yes, that too. But we are looking for more quirky lines.
Invisibility is invincibility.
Also, Bane's night vision. He spotted Bloodseeker, but he couldn't see him. Is it gonna matter? Will it matter, Become? Oh my god, it's behind the tower. It's insane. Might get a nightmare here. Got him.
Yeah, but here comes the Lina with the Shadow Blade. Collapse is going to go for this. He's got the silence with the LSA as well as the Laguna Blade to get the trade. Maposhka goes down. Fado will fall. And there's the Blink Dagger for Collapse.
I mean, you could argue that a Bane without Fiend's Grip is way less valuable than a Winter's Curse, right? So,
yeah.
A good trade still. Finally getting that mid tower. Or are they?
Stun doesn't land.
That's a hard stun on a 550 movement speed hero.
Certainly not easy to hit, and they'll get the tier 1 mid.
Yeah, Morphling I think has hit critical mass at this point.
Has the Scotty ready to go.
Yeah, Bloodseeker, like, they need to get their hands on the next Roshan. He needs that shard against the Morphling. It's the only counter they have. Has Fata eaten any cheese lately? Can't remember.
Yeah, he hasn't eaten any cheese. He's not spamming the line as much when they're down 11,000 net worth.
Yeah.
And Tundra really need to make a move that'll bring him back into the game. It's 17 seconds potentially on Roche respawning. As Collapse is here inside the pit. Maybe looking to make a jump.
Did Lycan not take an ancient creep anymore? He's just not using his helm, huh?
It says it's on cooldown. Yeah, he's
oh,
there.
never mind.
He's got it.
Yeah, sorry, I think it was just... Well, he's just killing it. He doesn't want the ancient anymore.
He doesn't want to give up the gold. Ooh, top lane. Skitter just blown up like you said he would be.
Yeah, the BKB just a split second too late. The E-blade damage comes through with the Adaptive Strike and he just gets killed from full to 0. Ouch, it hurts.
Radiant's top tower has been
That is unfortunate. 2,000 gold ripped, or 2,000 HP ripped through so quickly.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. Well, now the Lycan also spent, what, 60 gold on his item?
Looking for this Winter Wyvern. Nature's Grass not going to land onto the Winter Wyvern, but Collapse is inside the base near the tier 3. They've got the Cold Embrace. They land the LSA as well as the Laguna onto Mira. Mira, Overgrowth onto 2. Now trying to run, but the BKB's been popped by Lina going over into the trees. Meanwhile, they've killed off 33. Toronto Tokyo gets the kill there. Fada ends up dropping a Collapse, though. Beat down 3 heroes for 2 seconds longer until Skitter's back up, but 9 just gets blown up. Snake King will be next. Technically a team wipe here for Team Spirit, and they'll call GG on Tundra. A very easy first game for Team Spirit.
Yeah, it's... you know, some teams might just stay in the game for a while longer and try to figure out what to do, but there's really no coming back from a deficit like this against a team like Spirit. The late game is way better. They have Razor, Night Stalker, and Morphling Cores, which is really greedy, and they still won the early game with it, which is why the game snowballed out of control so hard. And yeah, like with Tundra's lineup, you just gotta win that early game, but they couldn't manage to. Spirit is too good. Spirit is very scary.
Yeah.
Very, very scary.
They look so good right now. That didn't even feel like a fight. It felt like a game that Spirit was destined to win, and eventually they do take it, and they get themselves a 1-0 lead. Like, what do you do? Is it all just from the draft that game was finished on, or is there something more that Tundra could have done with that game?
It's really... like they needed to crush that early game so that the Night Stalker can't actually get the BKB shard timing so fast, because you saw it, right? As soon as he had the BKB, he went to the shard minute 21. Lycan couldn't use his helm anymore. The hero was non-existent. And then you have like an underfarmed Bloodseeker against an overfarmed Morphling that will never work. And Lina, sure, she can survive, but she doesn't dish out the damage necessary against 3 cores.
Yeah.
It's rough. You have to win that early game in this scenario. The only chance to win.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Tundra, they dropped the first game, and it gives Spirit a 1-0 lead in this grand final best of 5. But we'll be back with game 2 in just a moment, as we'll go to a quick break. See you in a second.